peer pressure or online pressure. At some point in our lives, we will feel pressure from our peers in some shape or form. The loudest or most persuasive person will appear to be the head of the group. That the one person who listens to their inner GPS is the true leader. Whatever's happening, just enjoy your life.
Hi y'all, I'm Jovanna Vidal. I am an actor. You may know me from the Dhar Mann YouTube videos. And I'm also an author of the recently published #1 best-selling book, Teen Anxiety, No More. So yes, I am here to give you another message as to how I combat my morning anxiety.
Hello, hi, happy Friday. I want to see how you guys are doing, and I want to really read what you guys are feeling right now, because we're a little bit more into this, and I want to make sure that I'm here with you guys, right? Last week I was on a very much mission of kind of trying to steer the ship in a direction that could be more positive. It wasn't positive with everybody. I've come to find out. Not my intention, but that's the way it was misconstrued by some, right? Not a knock on them. It's just we all have different feelings, we all have different emotions, we all have different perspectives, and it's important that we stay true to what we feel inside, in addition to what we're all going through. So I'm really sorry if you are compounded with multiple things happening simultaneously. I will tell you that oftentimes that will happen, right? I believe, focus group of one, believes that happens because it goes and will prove to you how strong you are and can be, right? So let's not succumb, or for another word, fall into this mentality like everything happens to me, only me, everybody else has a perfect life, I'm the only one. It's like, no. Let's take a step back and let's realize that this is for the better good. It's not fun. I'm never going to say it's fun, but it is for the better good. Because when you begin to understand how strong and how powerful you are, I promise you, you will do so much more with yourself, for yourself, and for the greater good of everybody. So that's why I want to focus on the fact that this is to build you up, right? So let's try to stay in that energy, right? Let's try to lean into that versus the opposite, which is gonna, pull you down, pull you back, hold you down, and make you heavy and not be able to come up for air. And that will always exacerbate, I love that word, I can't always pronounce it, exacerbate the anxiety and the angst, right? So that's what we're trying to minimize. It's just a matter of maneuvering the way through so that you do things with a little more ease and more grace. Out of my control, y'all. A lot of things are out of my control, our control, but that doesn't matter. And hold on, let me try this again. That doesn't matter, and it shouldn't dissuade you from doing what you want. Not many words, but man, is she powerful. And I so agreed with what she said. It comes down to peer pressure, right? And for those of you who know my book, and if not, I do tend to refer to it a lot, because this is what has gotten me through my own anxiety. Like it says teen anxiety because I have so many of you who are in that category, but I do these things, and believe me, this is what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. I have referred back to my own book, and not in a snooty conceited, what's that other word, whatever way. It's more it's my anchor, right? The things I put in here is what I do to help me through my trying times. And man, these last couple of weeks I needed it, right? So I'm not telling you to do something I don't do. And if you're not a teenager, I promise you, I give you plenty of examples where you can substitute your own current day situations. And that's what I do for myself, right? I'm not in school anymore, so I just intersplice it with work, decision making, and I can kind of navigate the throes of the forest a little bit better. It's been the most incredibly unreal experience in my life. in recent memory. I'm sure I've had others, but man, this one's a doozy because it's with you all. And my whole desire and intention has been to kind of protect you all and not show you all like too much behind the curtain, I suppose, because y'all don't deserve that, right? I am not, even though I'm a public person and I'm very transparent with you guys, there are certain things I believe that need to be like, kind of, more protected. And so I was hoping that this situation would have been just not how I think any of us anticipated this to go down or unfold, rather. So, we do what we can, and I'm just happy to have you all, right? So thank you for being here throughout. It's really it's really incredible how you all have helped us through this, and we're helping each other, really, right? Emotions are complicated. It's not just one emotion, right? Like when you're feeling angry, you don't just feel anger. You feel frustrated, you feel annoyed, you feel disappointment, you feel fear. You could be angry and very fearful because the fear is making you angry or the anger is making you fearful, right? So being an actor, you have to study emotions a lot so that you know what your character is feeling. And I spent years, like 5 years, at the Center for the Language of the Face, and that was a studio that really spoke about emotions and how they translate on your face for on-camera work. However, they don't start on your face. They start in your body, right? You start feeling it like in your gut, like, oh, that doesn't feel good. What is that? And if you're anxious, you're like, oh, okay, that's fear. Or if it's anger, you're like, oh, right? So you have all these emotions happening simultaneously, and they're conflicting oftentimes, right? It's like, what do you think bitter sweet is? But one of the things I really wanted to talk about this week is peer pressure or online pressure. It's of course very top of mind right now because of what's going on. And so I really wanted to read this little part from my book because it encapsulates everything that, so many of us have or will. At some point in our lives, we will feel pressure from our peers in some shape or form. It is so often the case that most everyone will follow the crowd. It is what happens in most of these instances. The loudest or most persuasive person will appear to be the head of the group. The lone person who goes against the majority has often been deemed the loser or becomes the loner because they are singled out and ostracized or excluded from the crowd. What if I were to tell you that the one person who listens to their inner GPS is the true leader? And I did a video on your inner GPS, and I do discuss it in more depth in the book. How does that sit with you? If you think about it, the one person who stands by their guidance system as to what feels right and is not coerced to do something against their wants or wishes is the true leader. If you think about the most influential people or roles in our society or corporations, you will notice that the highest paid positions and the most highly regarded are the one person who stands alone. The president, the CEO, the entrepreneurs, the influencer. This is because they are one person who has gone against the masses to get to their position while all others are following them. So consider that in these situations when you are the one singled out or left behind, attribute this outcome to you being the one in the position of power because you didn't succumb to what others expected or convinced you to do to try to do something against your wishes. That inner power and resolve you have just created is the confidence builder contributing to what a true leader making the tough decisions needs to do. And of course it goes on, hence it just being a little excerpt. But I really wanted that to be for you right? In those moments where you might feel pressured, in those moments where you might feel like coerced to pick a side, or bully someone because of everybody else is bullying them, or do something that in your heart doesn't feel good. I mean, it could be something as like graffiti. Someone gives you a spray can, here, put graffiti, and you're like, no, that doesn't feel well. If there's 10 kids putting graffiti on the wall and you're like the only one that's like, no, I really don't want to defame somebody else's property, guess who's going to be made fun of, right? It's not the 10 people who are holding the spray can, it's going to be you who's not holding the spray can. And I use this just as an illustration as to peer pressure comes in so many ways, shapes, and forms, right? It's not just what's happening right now, or what I want you to feel empowered to make the decision that you need to make for yourself. And even if you stand alone, guess what? The people in power that we look up to and put into power are often the ones standing alone. So it's a good thing to stand alone sometimes. It's a powerful place to be. It might not feel like it as you undergo perhaps some of the harshness that's thrown at you in the midst of someone wanting to have you join their group, to spray can the wall that it doesn't belong to you, right? But if you walk away and you hold your head up high and you realize that spraying somebody else's property with a can of paint is not in alignment with what you want to do and how you want to live your life, then you don't go down with the bad crowd. You can make decisions on your own. And I hope you use that going forward in any capacity that might help you. Don't be afraid to stand alone. Don't be afraid to be the only one, and don't be afraid to be singled out. It might be challenging, but in the end, you're the one that has to live with you. You know when you do something that you don't want to do. You know when you go against something that doesn't feel right. That's not the person you want to be with 24 hours, as you're only with you 24 hours. Your friends will go back home and you have to stick with your own decision that didn't feel right. That's not a good feeling. And you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Most of you have been in this position already. You know what it feels like to make a mistake and not feel good, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's what you want to try to avoid to feel in your life as much as possible. Not that we all don't make mistakes. We do. But we want to try to minimize them, right? And we want to try to catch them and learn from them and do something different if you can, to kind of, minimize the effect of that potential mistake. You can't let people infringe on your positivity and on your good intentions in this world. You can't. That's not the way to roll, right? You think you can get away with that? Maybe you can somewhere else, but sorry, I'm not going to stand for it. It's like nostalgic. I love nostalgia. You can miss someone so much and think about them with all your heart, and then you're like, I miss them, right? But at least you had them. And that's where you can be very grateful. Well, at the end of the day, and I just got chills, literally head to toe chills. I got the feeling of how sorry I am that you all are experiencing this. And I want you to remember that you are a joy in this world. That you showing up anywhere you show up, you light up the room. You are a joy and a necessary light in this world. Please remember that everywhere you go. And so remind yourself, everywhere you go, you are the light in the room, that you bring the light to the room. So keep making your decisions for yourself and follow your heart, because your heart knows. And you know what? Just enjoy it. Whatever's happening, just enjoy your life this weekend. If for anything, just make yourself first. I love you guys. You guys are incredible and you bring me so much joy. I love the love. I love the ones. Go out there and rock this weekend, y'all. Rock it. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend. Yay.